Speaking of big deals, Google apparently moving on to something different from Android. Apparently, some new OS to replace Android. That's the thinking at this moment. Really interesting story and also really interesting timing, given all the talk about the ability for other manufacturers to potentially fork Android in the event that they can no longer get access to it. The open source, the kind of current business model that Google has for Android, the idea that any manufacturer can install some version of it. We were talking about it with Huawei after the ban. And then this news comes out about this Google Fuchsia OS, which is supposed to be the next Android, a universal OS that would replace Android without users having to worry about it. What Fuchsia, as it's called for the time being, runs seamlessly on a variety of devices, regardless of screen size. Obviously, it means we don't know a lot about it right now. An open source capability-based operating system. You have to ask yourself, why a new name? Why not some next version of Android? Why a complete overhaul? What's going on? Would the potential licensing setup be different? Do they need a fresh start to gather more control over how Google is being, or how Android, is implemented at the moment? It's funny because that talk about the Huawei OS that happened recently when it was like, oh, they might not get access to like the full-on version of Android. They're like, oh yeah, we're working on this other one, but the backbone is Android. Like, maybe this Fuchsia puts an end to that. Like, you can't, like, there's no version like that where you can run Android without Google Play services and all the other pieces where Google actually generates revenue. Maybe this movement could satisfy it, or maybe it's just strictly software and features, and they're like, we need a fresh start from a code perspective. Like, this is the future right now.
It's building like a framework or something.
Could very well be the case. Now, there's not a ton of information yet. It was spotted on there was a sort of some developer documentation that was spotted on Reddit via 9to5Google, fuchsia.dev, and it lets you browse through a variety of documents, which should be a starting point for developers looking to familiarize themselves with a new upcoming OS. So the thing is moving along, it's happening, and we have to sort of speculate what the motivation for that would be. And I think it's those two things, those two potentials. Or maybe it's not one or the other. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's, hey, we get to start fresh, and also maybe we get to change the way that manufacturers are interacting with this. I was thinking for a while, maybe now that they've got so much dominance, maybe it's more of a Windows model, like an install, and OEMs can just grab it. And I don't know.
Maybe they're running out of Android letters, so that's why they're just going to start like a new operating system.
Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Doo. That's Willie Doo right there. Let's take a moment.
There's only a few left.
Let's take a moment, just appreciate
Not a lot.
what he brings to the table. The humor.
Nothing comes after
the
Z.
cuff type of stuff. That is just, it's unexpected. Catches you off guard. And every once in a while, you get a little nugget. That's what I like to call it. Golden nugget. You know what the golden nugget is, Will?
No, what is it?
It's a famous casino in downtown Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Downtown Las Vegas, mostly abandoned at this point. Everything moved to the Strip. But the Golden Nugget is the most recognizable hotel, in my opinion, in the downtown Vegas region. Old Las Vegas. Original, OG Las Vegas. And you can probably bring up a picture there. Anyway, Golden Nugget. What a name. Now, obviously, a Golden Nugget, the gold rush, you would be sifting in the West.
Oh, yeah.
Sifting.
Along the river.
Looking for that. The gold rush. Imagine that, Will. All of a sudden you hear right now, they're finding gold out West. And you're like, see you later, Lou. I'm out of here. I might find myself a golden nugget. That's what it was. Anyway, you drop a different type of golden nugget for us like you just did. And I personally think it's the reason people tune in. As far as I'm concerned. It's the reason I tune in. You never know what you're going to get from Willie Doo. Anyway, Google, there they go. They're at it. They never stop. They're always on to something. Who knows what they're doing and what their real objective or agenda is? I was watching an interview with Sundar Pichai the other day, And they're like, "Are you an AI company? Are you an ad company? What exactly are you?" The interviewer. He's like, "We like to imagine ourselves as helping people, helping human beings." It's like, "Oh, thanks. That's as vague as possible."
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was all those kind of like 2.0 era futuristic answers.
Well, at least he's positive.
Of like, you told me,
Optimistic.
you just said a bunch of words.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you do. I don't think anyone has an idea. I truly don't think anyone has any idea what Google is actually up to. Like on a day-to-day, like at the highest level. Like, here's our big goal. Really? Is it? Sheesh. Who knows, Will? You don't know. They're so diversified, so many products, so many teams. Do they even know? Or is it just the future all the time? Every day.
Always. Yeah.
Might be.